In the midst of social distancing and business lockdowns, a freelance writer and a graphic artist bought a bus, converted it into a tiny home on wheels, and moved out of our 4-bedroom house. 1 year later, we downsized to a Chevy Express. Now we travel between Texas and Pennsylvania from April through November while exploring small towns with rich histories. In the winter, we hunker down in Texas in our schoolie and dream of our next big trip.
We're Alan and Teresa.
And we're rolling with our nomies.
Good morning. We're in Henderson, North Carolina, and we're going to walk around town here and take a look, see what we can see. You can see in the background we've got a few historic buildings here. It's a small town, but it looks like there's some pretty good history here. And we're just passing through, so we're going to take a look, see what they have to offer. From what we've seen so far, it looks like a pretty nice town. And we're just looking forward to walking through maybe 30-45 minutes and showing you what North Carolina has to offer. So follow us around. All right, so we're standing here in front of the Vance County Administration Office. It used to be the county courthouse, and it was built around 1884, designed by master architect of the Raleigh and Gaston Railroad. His name was Captain James Robert Thrower. It was completely remodeled in the 60s by the Milburn and Heister of Washington, D.C. Firm down in Washington. And now it's the administrative building here for Vance County. They still got the "In God We Trust" over the doors. And I love those columns.
Yeah, it's a beautiful courthouse.
Nice, and it's right next to the fire station, which is actually, it's 2 buildings over, but...
and there's a law office building next to it. It has a plaque on the front of it.
Yeah,
Are you
check
sure
it out.
it's not on the list?
I don't see it on the list.
Because it's definitely a historical building, but it just might not have made their cut of their 10 buildings.
It just says law building on there.
Right. You don't get a plaque like that if you're not historical, dude. And the windows tell me it's historical as well, so.
Yeah, it does have a historical plaque, but it doesn't tell what it is.
Nah, just says law offices, which makes sense.
And this is the fire hall. You can see the clock up there, 4 faces. You know, it's got the clock up there on the tower.
It used to be the municipal building.
It's built around 1908. It's a 5-story structure with Italianate revival clock tower and still used as a fire station. The tower forms the visual focus for the northern end of Henderson's downtown historic district, and that is true. You can see it from pretty far off as we drove into town. Before I even knew it was a fire station, I could see the clock tower, and it really is quite prominent. This is a nice building. So it says municipal building over the door there.
At one time, it looks like it's all fire hall now, but at one time that was the municipal building. May still be, I don't know. Flag.
So the Garnet Street Station used to be called the Henderson, Raleigh, and Gaston Railroad Freight Depot. It was built in the 1870s, and it was the first railroad through Henderson, North Carolina. It's been restored, and now it's used as an office building.
That's a beautiful building.
Yeah, nice. I wish I could go through it.
And I like that they kept the 4/4 windows.
Yeah.
They didn't replace all of the windows with new windows.
This is a absolutely beautiful church. It's called Kingdom Church of Deliverance, but this used to be a public library. And let's see, it's called Former H. Leslie Perry Library. It's built in 1924 as a memorial to an attorney. And you can see the Greek Revival features there with a gable front roof. And it's got the Grecian frieze of Alexander's triumphant return to Babylon. Love those columns. And opened in 1924 as a library.
Wow.
That's nice. Beautiful building. George's Restaurant, and it's pretty cool. It was built around 1880 and is one of Henderson's oldest commercial buildings. It has been a national bank, Citizens National Bank, a Corbett Buggy Company, a grist mill, and home of Samuel Watkins Dry Goods and Hardware Store. It was a two-story building. The second floor was removed, and the building was renovated. Now it's a restaurant. Nice.
That explains the little topper on this end, where the bricks are cut out over here.
Yeah.
See that little topper?
Yeah.
That would have been a flue or something to the second floor.
Cool.
Does it say when it was built?
So this building is currently a law office, and it was built a long, long time ago in 1881 as a law office.
It's interesting to see a building that was built as a law office in the 1800s and still today is a law office. That's pretty cool now.
Yeah, it was built by A.C. Zollicoffer, who was a prominent attorney in the late 19th century, and now it's a Cloninger law office.
It is a beautiful, beautiful building, and it hasn't been changed a lot, doesn't appear. I mean, that added on to the back of it at some point. Looks like two different additions back there, but and it makes sense because the courthouse is right around the corner from this building. It didn't make it to either one of the historical information sheets, but it is absolutely beautiful, and it is a Methodist church. I don't see a cornerstone, so I can't tell you when it was built, but absolutely gorgeous limestone-ish building.
They got their doors open.
Yeah, it's a Sunday morning. Stand to reason that their doors will be open. Absolutely gorgeous building. There ought to be a cornerstone somewhere.
I would imagine from the front corner, should be the back. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, isn't that gorgeous?
Wow. This looks like a castle.
It does kind of look like a castle. They built, even the sides of the top of the church are castle-esque. Now look at this.
Look at that spire.
Oh yeah, you could see that before you could see the clock. But it was built castle-esque anyway. This did not make any of the write-ups we have.
Yeah, not on the walking tour.
But it should be. Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
It's a beautiful church though.
And huge.
I love that courtyard.
Mm-hmm. This is the chapel.
1955.
This is the chapel.
Yeah. The chapel was erected in 1955. I'm going to guess that the rest of the church is older.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the rest of the church would be older, I'm sure.
It's amazing. They've got the same materials for the chapel as they got.
Not exactly. Not exactly. Look at the stones on the chapel.
Replica?
Look at the stones. See how straight they are?
Yeah.
Now look at the stones on the church.
That's actual stone. That's probably not real stone.
It's real stone. It's just that was not cut. This was.
Gotcha.
See, the whole addition back here, from this corner all the way around, has cut stone. This over here, the original, does not have cut stone. Absolutely gorgeous. Seaboard System Railroad. And check the description.
Erected by the federal government with the cooperation of the city of Henderson, State Highway and Public Works Commission, and Seaboard Airline Railway in 1936.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Nice.
And that clock tower and the church.
That's beautiful. You can see that coming all the way down the street.
You can see it. You can see that spire for miles up the road too. Another view of the church and the bridge. The bridge is actually on a slope going down. So and there's the fire hall as you're approaching it from the north. Hey. The mural, singular, on the side of this building depicts Henderson and the old freight depot. Looks like it would have been Henderson in 1841.
That's the year the town was established, yeah?
Right. And it extends, its city center extends 1 mile to the north and 1 mile to the south. So the depiction though is awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, do you see the windows in it?
Yeah.
Looks like there used to be windows and they've been boarded up but painted to look like actual windows in there.
Right.
I mean, the ones on the front are clearly boarded up.
Looks like it might have been a fire.
It looks like the Tiffany's store may have been on fire at some point. It's definitely a story there, even if we don't know what it is.
There is a story.
There's always a story.
So this building here on the corner is Green Wave's Authentic Charcoal Grill, built in the mid-1880s. It was originally the Revis building, and was a general merchandise store. It later became the Charles Department Store. Entirely altered from its original appearance, the building has been restored and it's now a restaurant.
This is an elegant and refined neoclassical structure of brick sheathed with limestone on the main facade. It's the First National Bank building.
Yeah, so...
The monumental two-story portico is carried on a fluted Doric columns. And those columns are actually 2 stories tall.
They are huge.
It's an impressive building. A broken pediment with stylized eagle at the apex surmount the entry. When the building was erected in 1921, the interior featured a leaded skylight and Corinthian capital pilasters. The building is the future home of the Vance County Historical Museum.
And it's the First National Bank.
It is the First National Bank building.
I'm guessing it's empty right now.
Yeah, the museum's coming to it.
Nice. Beautiful building. Okay, this building was built in 1905 or thereabouts. It's a 2-story brick building, originally occupying by a dry goods store and a jewelry store on the first floor, and meeting rooms for the Croatan Men's Club up on the second floor. So I don't know what the Croatan Men's Club is, but I'm guessing it was a men's only club of some sort.
You think? It did say men's club.
In the early 20th century they had those.
Right, right. But there's also a billboard on the side of that building.
Vance Furniture Company, yeah. That's pretty cool. And there's one next to it on the other corner.
Oh, then we have to keep going. I think it's the same one.
Yeah, it's the same ad. It looks like you could see it from the other street if you're over there.
Right, right. Awesome. And this...
Here's the county court building.
I think it's on this one.
The county office building right here.
Yeah?
Built around 1911. It originally was a U.S. post office, but you can see the 2-story granite-faced neoclassical style.
Okay.
And it's pretty nice. Nice building.
Alright, if I don't do this right, then I'm going to be on the bad side of my wife. So y'all bear with me and pray for me. But while you're doing that, don't forget, share us with your friends, like us if you like us if you don't, subscribe to the channel. It helps us out. God bless.